intervention. A value chain comprised of several actors with different interests in the product that we develop. Actors therefore become stakeholders. Each actor knows from a different perspective. A businessman, somebody that's in agribusiness, the way we're looking at this development is through their profit-led or their corporate social responsibility strategy. The government, like we, should focus on redistributing mechanisms that we can use to help the small scale producers to sustain their livelihood. We know that resources are limited. That's the first thing we have taught in economics. Resources are limited and it must go around and the population is very large. So how do you distribute the resources from the many, those that have too many, to those that do not have, so that everybody is happy? So a thorough understanding of the social power relations in the value chain is important. This will help to build proper and gender equal value chains and is very essential in realizing our value. Gender mainstreaming is also important for us in IHOP. Gender mainstreaming should be integrated into all aspects of social value chain. It means that we ensure that gender is considered at every stage of the value chain, from production to consumption. Don't leave it at the market stage, where most of us go always focus. Even before you conceive whatever technology you want to conceive, carry the women along. Have a gender consideration behind your mind. In order to mainstream gender, a thorough analysis is needed of the current situation and existing gender relations. You need to have a situation analysis. That is, an analysis of gender relations is the starting point to further mainstream gender in value chain analysis and development. Now, I just want us to look at this picture to dive into some of all these strategy I've been talking to. Look at those pictures. You can see a woman. On the extreme left, there's a woman, there's a girl, there's a boy, and there's a man. And then look at the other one, the same set of people. And then the third one, the other. Okay, what do you see? What do you see here? Okay, let me just explain. Okay, what we see here is that all of them are trying to view both the mother, the daughter, the son and the father. They are trying to have a view. That thing is blue, that they are trying to look at something. But because of their height, all of them cannot have that view. The second view, so that all of them were now giving one block, one coach of block to stand up, so that they can have a better their height to go up. So look at when they get them that even at that stage, the woman could barely see, and the daughter could not see at all. The son could not see, the man is just touching. Of course, the man, even before they put anything, the man is already seeing everything. And if you look at that third one, the mother is giving 2 coaches. The daughter has 1, 2, 3, 4 coaches because she's short. That coach will want to push her to that level. Then the son has 3 coaches. He's taller than his sister. Then the man has just 1 coach. At the end of the day, everybody is happy. That's what the last slide is talking about. So this is just to repeat that. This is actually trying to tell us the difference between gender equality and resources. You get the resources that will put you at the level where you will not be, discriminated upon. Giving this man 4 extra coaches will make him so tall, he will even see beyond what he's supposed to see. And then he will not achieve it. Okay. And this picture is let me present that here. Now, so the first picture on the extreme left is actually talking about inequality. This is our situation in real life. Even in agriculture, even in horticultural value chain, this is our situation. We have women, everybody is not on the same place. When you now give them support, you give them one coach, and the result you say, no. That's when you say, let's give everybody equal opportunity. Let's give everybody equal opportunity. And we want to have a training. Let's have 10 days. That's being equal. That's not being equal. Because they don't need the same thing. You don't know who actually needs most training. Maybe even men deserve to have more participation in that training than women because of their need. Now we are saying that you must actually look at the need of people before you design the program for them. Before you talk about having a gender equality. Now, if the support is different based on needs, all we get the same result. And this because we're giving the support based on what they need. Everybody is now happy, and we have equal outcomes. So we are talking about having an inclusive, sustainable agricultural value chain. You must look at the needs of people and give them things based on their needs, and that's where you have gender equality. So gender equity is a pathway to gender equality. Now look at it again. This is another example. People are trying to pluck orange from whatever they want to call. We gave them mango, we gave them the same support. The results are not safe, but no, Gabas or not. And then, if you now give them support based on their height, the support is different based on their needs. Everybody will be able to reach the mango and pluck. So what we are saying that with a mainstreaming strategy, who and what are we trying to change? We are talking about mainstreaming. What developing country government or program, we are trying to change people. We are saying mainstream women into development program. We are also talking development cooperation programs. We are talking about agencies themselves. Why do we mainstream? What is the goal of mainstreaming? The main result of primary goal of mainstreaming is to have a progress towards gender equality in programs. That is our goal. We mainstream. We do a gender response towards the goal of gender equality. It is not itself an end, but rather a means to an end. Now, I also want to quickly explain this. There's a difference between women in development and an approach that views women's lack of participation as the problem. We also, and the focus is about women. But when we are talking about gender and development, we are talking about an approach to people-centered development. It relates to both men and women. So the essence of this presentation is not focusing on women in development. We are talking about both men and women. And the problem also, in terms of problem, the exclusion of women half of the productive source from development process. The focus is gender and development that we have an unequal relationship here between women and men, both rich and poor, that prevents equitable development and women's full participation. The goal of women in development is to have an efficient and effective development, whereas the goal for a gender and development program is such to have an equitable, sustainable development with men and women sharing decision making and power. The solution with regards to WID, the solution is that you integrate women into existing structures. Whereas we are talking about gender and development, you want to empower disadvantaged women and transform unequal gender relationships and structures. That's what we're talking about there. The strategy in women's development is a women-only project. Is a women-only project component. It integrates projects, increase women's productivity. You want to talk about increasing income, increase women's ability to manage the household, and so on and so forth. Everything is about women. But when you're talking about gender and development, we are talking about identifying and then addressing practical needs by women and men to improve their condition. We are talking at the same time, we want to address strategic gender needs of women and men as we showed, so that they can have the same outcome. We want to also address strategic needs of the poor through people-centered development and not just looking at the women alone. Now, I want to conclude by saying that for inclusive and sustainable social value chain that we have been talking about, requires a gender-sensitive approach, and this approach will be such that recognizes the diverse roles that are played by both men and women in the value chain. You have to, you don't only identify this, so you address the inequalities that have been noticed, and then you empower women to improve their productivity, increase profitability, and promote sustainable and inclusive economic growth. Women farmers should be made to have access to finance, training, technology, and market information so that they can participate fully in the value chain. I thank you for your time. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate everybody. I want to appreciate God Almighty for the opportunity given to stand before all of you. Without me, there will be no life. So I give thanks to Almighty Allah. I thank the deputy director as well as the IFC members for taking time to come and sit out and listen to us and also contribute towards this. I want to thank all the staff. I'm thanking the researchers, my colleagues. Have all contributed one way or another towards making me me. So I also want us to know that we're part of this story that I'm telling. Dr. Kafo, Dr. Ibe, and the whole lot of Dr. Lufumi, the whole lot of us that encourage one another. My sister, Horticultural, everybody, Dr. Bitoye, everybody, every researcher has been part of this success story. Because one way or the other, we are impacted on me as a researcher. I also recognize the non-researchers, the staff of the farming systemization program, particularly recognize the technologists. And of course, I recognize the new staff, the new scientists that have joined in. They have also been wonderful. I thank everybody. I particularly thank the research and review and committee chairperson for the patience. It's been chasing me up and down, and then for the patience and the encouragement and in telling me that go ahead and do it and get it done. I thank Dr. Lajeta for the support. I thank Dr. Laniyo, Dr. Yedide, everybody, Dr. Ojo, you are also appreciated. I thank everybody for being part of this session.
Levels, Dr. Muslia Adepeju Barnes. You will agree with me that it has been a time of learning. If you had gender before, you might think gender is what? And once you think it is sex, which sex will you think they were talking about? So once again, let's give a round of applause to Dr. Barnes. Thank you so very much, ma'am. At this point in time, we'd like to yield back to the chairperson of this seminar session, Dr. Adebisi Adelani.
Gender into gender room. Gender room. So we are back. Yes, because she looked through about horticulture, horticulture, and most important, horticulture in mitigating climate change. So let's go back home with that and see what we do to our environment and where we're working, horticulture. She mentioned horticultural value chain, knowing sustainable horticultural value chain. And then she talked about gender gap, which calls for gender mainstreaming. Without the gap, we're not talking about mainstreaming gender. And most of the times, even up to the moment, even at our population, we still talk about women because we feel and we know that there's a gap. When you look at the gender, other, the women. So we have seen it, and she has taken us through the gender responsive value chain development. How do we go about it? Gender analysis. So this, but no, so I will not be giving another seminar. I want us to go with this. The goal of gender mainstreaming is because we want to achieve gender equality. And there's a need for gender equity. As we sit down to think about our research, we must consider gender. Sometimes just, in fact, we have been talking about it, we will talk about it again today. I want to appreciate Dr. Barnes for going through this again. And we let us go. We don't mean considering gender. Because as we go out, even as scientists, technologists, meeting with farmers, producers, marketers, consumers, let's consider gender. It is key, and we don't need to be gender blind. She mentioned we don't need to be gender blind. We have to open wide and let our eyes be open to gender. And as we leave this on today, let's consider gender in all that we do. We're not talking about women and development. We are talking about gender and development. I know a lot of questions. It really is going through our hearts. Yes. And she's there to